remember
hey,
our first episode, I asked, are we here?
I know.
Are we here?
I was just watching them back then too.
Oh my God. And we are now here, episode 108.
Yes.
The season finale. Our last episode of season 1.
Yes.
We are here.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
We started back in January.
Yes.
This
Crazy.
is bananas. Have y'all been watching us since January?
Have y'all caught up on all 7 previous episodes? Because if you didn't, you need to go back and watch, especially last week's episode 7, where we talked about Father's Day, Juneteenth, Pride Month, and we did a check-in on the goals that we were talking about in episode 6.
Yes.
And I gotta say, that was my favorite part. Well, my least favorite part, this ain't something we normally do, but my least favorite part was when my illness tried to take me out towards the end of the video.
Well, I guess that jumped on me for this episode, because this week tried to take me out. And last night, I didn't know how we was going to be flowing tonight.
I saw her on the couch, I was like, well.
All night. But we bought that good old Theraflu over last night. And yeah, it does a body good. So we're going to need a sponsorship from Theraflu, because we done bought $21 worth of Theraflu last night.
Oh,
why are y'all $21?
2 boxes, one for her and one for me, just in case.
What?
And I was like, what? Is this always the prices? Like, what is going on?
I'm used to buying them like Lucy's. I'm used to buying just a pack at a time. And she done bought the box. I felt special until she told me the price. I'm like, can we return the ones I don't have to use? Oh my goodness.
Yes, very expensive. But you are in for a treat tonight. We are doing a recap of all the episodes that we went through, our favorite parts in each segment, guest highlights. We're going to take a look back at with all due respect, episodes for season 1. And we really want y'all to comment y'all favorite parts, y'all favorite episodes, your favorite segments, what you remember, what has you laughing, what had you mad, what changed you. Make sure you comment all in the comment section.
I'm so looking forward to this.
Yes, this is going to be a great time. But before we do anything else, we always have to discuss what's in these glasses to make sure that nobody gets the wrong idea. So what's in your glass tonight, Shontyce?
Tonight, it should be a Theraflu martini, but it is good old-fashioned fruit punch.
That's
and
it.
I would rather parched all day.
That's it. Non-alcoholic always on this show. And speaking of what's in your glass, what was your favorite what's in your glass?
Wait, let's tune in to my favorite what's in your glass moment was. Hold up. Last episode, we did get some feedback in regard to what was in our glass.
So yes, before we go any further, what's in your glass, Shontyce?
Well, what's in my glass tonight is a mocktail. Like last week, we made sure this week is a lot more visual.
Yes.
So we actually have a non-alcohol white sangria. I always made the red one. Never made the white one. If I told you the recipe, you might have to have the truth behind the homicide. So maybe if you stay to the end, we might let you in on how we made this mocktail. But trust me, you won't see me stumbling in anything because it's alcohol free. Okay, did you taste something?
Yeah, let me taste this.
I think my
That's
favorite.
good. We wanted to make sure that we addressed that comment. You know, looks can be deceiving. We were not drinking.
We can't even sneak a nip up in here, okay? No.
More free zone. I love that. That was cute.
The white sangria. Not only was it just the drink, but it was the fact that we were officially setting the record straight again, because the person who sent us the comment on episode 2 obviously did not watch our premiere episode, because we went in with describing what would be in our glass, not just for that episode, but for every episode forever and ever. Amen. But we ain't mad.
But they said they saw it and they understood why we was popping bottles in the first episode, because we were premiering our show, and they just wanted to make sure that we always set the record straight, and that is what got What's in Your Glass as a staple segment. So we thank you for that comment. because it wasn't supposed to be a staple. It was going to be every now and again when we came up with some ideas. But now it's a staple segment to always make sure that we set the record straight.
I don't know about that.
But my favorite What's in Your Glass segment or moment was this one. So before we go any further, we gotta address what's in your glass, Shontyce.
After I get around this huge wheel that belongs on my new car, I have a dragon fruit mojito, but I spiced it up just a little bit. What do y'all think is making this pink? Y'all ain't ready. Strawberry sun-kissed lemonade soda. That's what I'm talking about, because I just had a craving for it and I saw the bottle. You know how like you're not really ready to drink something until you see it? And it was like,
it looks pretty.
Thank you. Yeah,
so I got the regular dragon fruit mojito. I found this recipe and I thought it was gorgeous. And dragon fruit, without it being expensive, we're not gonna talk about the price, but it's just different.
It's a good thing that this is alcohol free, because if the dragon fruit was expensive and then if there was alcohol in it, it really would have. See how much you save when you
the mocktail dragon fruit mojito is so pretty, and I really like the dragon fruit. It's just different. It's just different. That one was my favorite.
I'm so ghetto.
It allowed me to use my creativity with that big old wheel,
big old tire she found to fit our glass. That thing was huge.
But it looked good on camera.
No, it did.
And it tasted amazing. But again, we ain't gonna talk about the price of dragon fruit. But that one was my absolute favorite. But before we take our break, we gotta say hey to everybody who's on reminiscing with us. Hey, Ketty.
Hey,
Anika. Hey, Bealish. Hey, Pastor Steph.
Hey.
We got the I like that one talking about the sangria. That was a good one. That was creative, talking about the dragon fruit. Thank y'all. But we gotta take a quick break. And then we're going to continue on down memory lane with y'all and closing out season 1. We will be right back.
Man, I just asked B, why she let me be ghetto and put that strawberry sun-kissed soda up in that dragon fruit fly. What was the name of it again?
Dragon fruit mojito.
Dragon fruit
mojito.
Virgin style. She let me put strawberry sun-kissed soda in it.
It was pretty though.
It did. It came out very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. Well, our staple segments. Do you remember how we came up with our staple segments? Let's do one by one. Our first staple segment, outside of what's in your glass, is what are the streets saying?
I don't remember how we came up with it. I don't remember.
I don't either.
The Lord.
But we were sitting in our producers meeting and we were talking about something. And then it was like, okay, now let's get. I think we were trying to think about things that we really wanted to make sure we spoke about all the time. Like, no matter who the guest is, what the topics are, the topics are always going to fall under these. So we have, what are the streets saying? What was your favorite moment?
What was my favorite? Let's check it out. What are the streets saying? My favorite moment.
What are the streets saying?
Okay, y'all gonna like this.
We actually had someone submit to us a famous person who is actually experiencing stalking Shakira.
Yes.
And someone said, oh, figures, she's pretty, she's beautiful, of course she has a stalker. But I mean, when you're this famous, do you really want to have that concern now?
No.
That someone is stalking you?
It's like victim blaming. Nor should you be saying, oh, she's pretty, she's famous.
I didn't even look at it like that. I didn't think of it like that.
Absolutely. So, my favorite was One of the Streets saying was our very first One of the Streets saying. When we talked about Shakira, we talked about stalking. When we were able to actually see all of our ideas that we have written down and scribbled down in our books come to life, and it opened up such a big conversation with people who are still hitting me up, telling me about their stalking stories.
Wow.
Yes.
So where they at? Why haven't they been sending the stuff so we can put it up? It could be
Unfortunately, they camera shy. But man, the stories are coming out. I'm gonna mention that because it needs to stay in the forefront, and it got us, talking. It got people talking to us. We got some real good feedback on that particular episode and that conversation and topic. So that had to be my favorite.
Well, I actually, outside of it being our premiere episode, but it did also help to get Kiana Bryant on camera with us to talk about her story. And she was so like, I don't want to, I'm nervous. But she got up here and she was able to speak, and had we not had this up on the first episode, she probably wouldn't have felt as compelled or convinced to do it. So, but let's get into what my favorite One of the Streets saying moment. Street saying, does teeth matter to y'all?
Yes, I have to say, one of the most attractive things is a smile to me.
Real quick, I have to read two of the comments that really stood out to me. One person said the most irresponsible thing for somebody to do is neglect their teeth.
Yeah.
Another comment said, y'all talking about a side tooth, but ain't nothing like the plaque builder.
Oh, yes.
Come on, bro. I used to work with a girl. You could always tell what she ate because it was just already.
No. I mean, if your teeth is jacked up, I'm not too sure about your breath then.
You should be not too sure.
I mean,
it's definitely messed up. You can have the plaque build up and missing teeth, but now you gonna make sure you pop them missed up. Like, I had someone say to me that they're working with someone who got the coffee version of the chiclet. So I don't know what's going on out here right now, but teeth matter. Don't be trying to holler at nobody. Don't be sliding nobody DMs. If you got money to pay a cover fee to get into a club, you got money.
Save it up
to go to the dentist and get that annual deep cleaning.
Yeah.
Teeth matter. That's what the streets say. The streets are saying teeth matter. I mean, I couldn't believe that was a question. I think that was one of those rhetorical questions that they posed, like just to see the feedback that they would get. Right.
You need to look at this, what they talking about, cause.
Or somebody just took her out who didn't feel like teeth matter. And she said, but let me prove to you that it does matter. Oh my God, but I had to, after going through all of them, I was like, nah. I think that was the most realist, One of the Streets saying moments we've had so far. Oh my, what do y'all think? Do y'all think teeth matter? That came from episode 2.
Somebody said, I learned what stalking was that day. And I remember we had a whole debate
during the crew meeting. Not even debate with the viewers, during the crew meeting.
About whether a particular thing was stalking. And it brought out some things. Teeth matter. Teeth definitely matters. Absolutely. And that was coming off Valentine's Day.
Exactly. So, how many non-brushing mouths were out at these restaurants not tipping? Because remember, I told y'all, that is the #1 holiday that servers despise.
They done spent all their money on the gifts, so now they can't afford the tip.
And neither they can't afford the floss and all that either. No. How often are you supposed to change your toothbrush?
Every 3 months, they say.
3?
Yes.
Every month.
Well, dentists say every 3. I don't know about every month.
That's a whole lot of residual plaque up in the toothbrush. Because you're supposed to
change it every day if you need to.
And you gotta change it every day.
Teeth matter.
Wait, because you brush twice a day at least, right? And if you floss and if you mouthwash, 30 days, I think is good.
Listen, change it as often as you need to. Put a reminder in your phone, set an alarm, do what you gotta do. Make sure you're changing that toothbrush. If you got an electric toothbrush, change the toothbrush head. Make sure you're flossing.
Those electric ones are expensive too.
Yes.
Why? Why do they cost so much?
Because it's popular now.
They ain't that popular. Teeth don't matter to everybody. I don't know. Okay. Moving on. Our second staple segment. Get rid of that, really. Do you remember how we came up with get rid of that?
I kind of do.
Okay.
We were just talking about things that we wanted to bring forth because we are millennials and we come across a lot of other millennials that just think that the things that they do are okay. And they justify it and they make excuses for why it's okay. And we just wanted to make sure on this show, we take every opportunity we can to set the record straight on what it is that they need to get rid of.
Absolutely. Especially when we started talking about Christian millennials. Especially. Wait, isn't that crazy? The especially part? Not even especially the non-believing millennials, but the believing millennials.
It's not that crazy to me, though.
I mean, it's not when you're in it and you know that the believers can be, if not just as, worse than. But just on just thinking firsthand, out loud, it's like, Dad, when you think we have to contend with the opposite side, most know it's the ones that's on the same side of it. It's kind of concerning.
Because people want you to think that what you're doing is wrong when you're doing something right, or right when you're doing something wrong. The way that this world is just so stupid that our Christian millennials are being influenced, especially with social media being as heightened as it is.
That's true.
And especially with all these internet churches that they go to watch it instead of actually going to a physical church. So now you have these people filling your mind with things that you think is right when it's wrong, or things that's wrong when you're right. Exactly. So I can see it. We need to be able to be with our millennial Christians and even the younger Christians, because it's just too much out in this world that is just confusing them and steering them wrong. Amen. What was your favorite get rid of that segment?
My favorite get rid of that segment was awareness for this month. Another awareness for this month is 420.
It's an excuse to just go crazy.
Crazier. I didn't realize it's as big as it is. This started back in the 70s. I had my own little personal experience with weed, and the first time I smoked, I was walking around chewing on a metal fork, and I was just like, you know what? I don't think this is for me. There's been so many careers that have started. Vendors ain't vendors. Can we please show what normal vendors look like? Now, don't they look happy? A nice little interaction. And this is what the vendors we have to tend to today. Look at this. So I'm supposed to walk up to you here with your TV tray that you took out your basement, and I'm supposed to buy your weed from you. More than half of the weed smokers that I know can't afford the weed that they smoke.
Facts.
Why? This is what the result is of legalizing weed.
You ain't have a catchy slogan at the end of this one. Can we talk about this every day? Can we get rid of this? Like I was walking just to get some fresh air, but fresh air ain't fresh.
I was about to say, how long was you walk?
Oh my God! Everywhere you turn, I can't even get no fresh air because now I'm smelling what smells like to me rotten eggs.
Oh, that's it?
Or poop.
Oh,
or something, like it just don't smell good. So now I'm trying to get fresh air, and my air ain't fresh because everybody is smoking. And somebody just sent me for the socially conscious news that you can now start growing in your home legally.
So now everybody's front yard is gonna have cannabis. They're not gonna sweep their yard, but they're gonna plant that weed.
And you got the stray cats running around. You got the raccoons running around. You got especially if you're in New York, all types of things running around. But you gonna grow that weed. You gonna grow that weed, and you gonna sell that weed, and you gonna open up your illegal shop.
No, because if you can grow it in the yard, now you can really get the TV tray from out the basement and plop it up in front of your house. And don't let you own it. Don't let you be paying a mortgage and not just be renting. Now your neighbors really can't say nothing to you now. Now you're going to be on court TV, really arguing. Because now you got weed traffic all up and down your block now. So now, not do we now have to sign petitions for speed bumps, stop signs, traffic lights, block parties. Now we got to start signing petitions for weed smoking and growing
and weed selling.
And table trading. Because I'm sorry, I don't care who owns on this block. I don't want to walk past you sitting outside your house with a TV tray. And that's your house. That's just not a sight I want to see. I've been living in the same place for 30 years almost. That's just the tackiest. When did that become? Who put the memo out? And how did the memo go out? That it's okay to have a TV tray. And have you ever really looked at the TV trays? They never the ones that were just bought.
No.
They're the ones that was passed down from generation. That was your mama's, father's, uncle's, mama's TV tray that they left in the attic or in the basement, used for everything, got moved all around. You ain't even dusted off, and now it's propped up outside. We have to stop. When are we gonna grow as the people?
Oh my God.
That's why you didn't catch me smoking at the end, because I was just too fixated on the vendors, the new definition of vendors now, and the metaphor. So I just couldn't. I couldn't think of anything else. But I had to add, and that's why I actually chose that as my favorite, because it's like that's a never-ending get rid of that. I don't think they're gonna get rid of that until Jesus comes. So we have to like really keep that as a get rid of that.
Yes.
Now.
Every day. I almost chose that one, but I just had a feeling that Shontyce was gonna go with that one. So this is my favorite get rid of that. To get rid of that segment, and as we are also talking about mental health, we are also talking about physical health. This month is Physical Health Awareness Month, where they created this awareness month to push physical activity because it's good for your body, it's good for your mental. But I just gotta say, can we please get rid of this? Please get rid of substituting physical fitness with BBLs. Can we please stop?
The cheeks was hanging from under the skirt like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel like this goes with the weed smoking, because I'm seeing people pushing the baby stroller with a butt that is so obviously fake. It's just so normal now. They go using their tax money. That's when you see it the most, is when tax season hit. That's now BBL time. All of a sudden, everybody got new bodies. And it's just so ridiculous. And they're never modest about it. They always overdo it. I don't understand. Why, if you're going to spend your money, why not make it look realistic? Why? And then I saw somebody post that the girl had this obviously fake butt, and when they asked her about it, she was like, "Oh, this came from my 3 boys. I had 3 kids." Girl,
and wait, was it high?
It was ridiculous.
Because your butt ain't all that high and propped up after 3 kids.
No.
And
if anything, it's sagging more.
Now, I ain't have no kids. I'm just going off for the women I've seen. And I know that their buttons still may be big, but they don't all that firm.
No, and high, and just don't even match the legs. It's just ridiculous.
This is this is a button, this is a leg. Like,
Right.
girl, where you going?
Right. Like,
Where
no,
you going?
We know. Everybody knows.
Where
Let me
you
read
going?
the comments.
No.
They said, I knew of a guy that didn't brush his teeth, only used mouthwash.
Is he still alive?
Child.
Is he still alive? Because they say that the plaque and gingivitis travels to your brain and your heart. So if you only use mouthwash, you're not really getting it. Mouthwash is a bonus. Well, that's not what we do.
And I bet you he's in people's face.
All the time. Don't be the ones that want to talk them off.
I bet you he's a with my hug that type of person. I bet you he is. I bet you he's one of those close talkers that act like he don't smell that coming out of his mouth. I bet you he
Hey,
is.
who spit?
Oh my goodness. That
Oh
is
my God.
disgusting.
We need to send them some.
Wow.
Wait, I'm so sorry. Whoever sent that comment, that means they spoke close to you. Ask where they hug. That is horrible. Mouthwash is a bonus. It is what you do after you brush your teeth to enhance the toothbrushing,
Oh my God.
the teeth brushing.
How do you feel
Not-
okay? Like,
And you like it, and you
right.
you still feel all. Then we spoke about plaque. You still feel all
my
the plaque.
gosh.
But you ever because you ever been like either like you been at home and you ran out of toothpaste, you're like, dang, I gotta go to the store and buy some, but you had the mouthwash. Okay, let me brush real quick with the mouthwash. But you go and get that toothpaste and come right back home and brush your teeth. That was not an out all day
Right.
task. No, like let's get this together.
Mm-hmm.
So this word the streets saying is a little more intense than what I thought.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Somebody said my favorite one was the choosing your favorite fashion outfits game. Okay.
I thought about that one too.
It's weed air. Somebody said it's weed air. Please, no weed in the yards. Yes. Oh my goodness. Miss Shirley bringing you an ounce with the tomato she grew in the backyard.
Oh, Miss Parker.
Crazy.
Oh, Miss Parker for Fridays. Hi, boy. Oh my
Those
God.
look terrible. The butt weighs about 50 pounds or more. Yes, it's ridiculous. Rock hard booties. Yep. And live in a project. Yes. You on the bus with your butt.
Don't forget the bus. You're on the pissy elevator.
Oh my gosh.
You won't sign a petition to help stop the peeing in the elevator. But you won't go and sign that petition for them to sell that weed right outside the building.
Oh my gosh. Just ridiculous. Don't match the legs. He's still alive. He's an EMT. You know how close you gotta be with
What? Wait.
You know how close you have to get to people when you're an EMT.
Wait. And how hasn't he been hospitalized yet?
Oh
You know, I was thinking
my
too,
God.
I bet she's not even a name brand mouthwash she's gonna either. Wait, so are you the one that stands back? Because like we just
I
had to
hope
have,
you're the driver that never leaves the car.
but they all gotta get out. That's what I'm saying.
my
Wait,
God.
you gotta get out. Last time they sent 2 sets of EMTs here, okay? And there was 2 that were real close, and there was 2 that stayed further back. So are you the one that gets close, or are you the one that stands back and asks for the identification and which prescriptions and stuff that they take? Because
But remember when they came the more recent time, one of them was there helping, checking this, asking questions, and when he couldn't get something, the other one came around and did it for him. So either way, you might try to stand back, but you're gonna have to be in somebody's face eventually. Girl, oh my gosh. Oh
you need
my
a quick
gosh.
acronym for EMT. That is horrible.
Wow.
Now, tell them that
Wow.
Jesus ain't signed off for that. You're gonna have to get that together.
Wow.
Jesus is not. There's certain professions you cannot have if you don't like brushing your teeth. EMT is one of them. Nurse, doctor, bodega owner, a human being.
I was
You just
about
cannot-
to say, I was trying to figure out a nice way to say it.
a human being.
Like,
A human being is not like a way for you. If you do not like dogs to chew on and brush their teeth now. Come on, let's get this to EMT.
Oh my gosh.
Man, we gonna have to send their name, but let's pray for them, please.
Please. Please. Oh my goodness.
Wait, so should that be part of a pagan truth?
Oh my goodness. That's
a belief. Pagan truth move.
Yeah, so how do we come up with it? I mean, this is pretty obvious, but how do we come up with the name, the lights, and all of that? Do you remember?
Yes, it was in stages. So first came the name, because we definitely wanted to make sure we attacked all of these holidays that are celebrated throughout the world, especially in the Christian realm, that has nothing to do with Jesus, nothing to do with God. So it was like, okay, well, they come from the pagans,
right?
All of them, okay? And then after we did it a couple of times, a couple of episodes, we was like, wait, how can we enhance that? You know, try to switch up a bit so that our viewers know when it's time for the pagan truth, if they're not paying attention to their calendar. And then I believe it was our set designer, Serge, who brought up the light changing, you know, maybe we do something like that. We was like, that's so. And then we decided on the red, because red is like caution, caution, caution. You know what I mean? So I think next season we'll have to get some yellow tape or something. Okay. So we're gonna have to get some yellow tape and definitely get this going. And then we're supposed to have a siren going on as soon as you know, the ambiance changed. And I remember it was like just telling Serge, just throw it on unexpectedly. You know, we could be in the middle of talking or messing around, just throw it on, because it'll help to check us with what we need to start talking about. I knew I was gonna come on. So, you know, do it like that so we can also be just as startled as you guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and shout out to our assistant production crew in the back, making sure we have all of our sound and all of the ambiance. So we spoke of a lot of different holidays. A lot of different holidays. And the year isn't over yet, so we have not gone through all of them. But what was your favorite pagan truth moment?
My favorite pagan truth moment was hilarious. Let's check it out. I see you. Jesus did not die on a Friday and was resurrected.
Can y'all see me in the camera?
2-3 days later. That doesn't even make sense. Look, I ain't good at math. But I know that from Friday to Sunday is not 3 days.
This is how y'all end up with this. Because y'all not focusing on the brain, so now the Easter hat becomes the brain. And Easter hat becomes the brain.
Down. Oh my goodness. It was hilarious to talk about and to break that pagan truth. And also one of my favorites, because you know how many people never go to church, but on Easter, they all dressed up. Their kids is all dressed up. And they go into, what is it called? Resurrection service. So I was happy to break hearts for Easter Sunday. And it just doesn't make sense. Nothing about Easter makes sense. How is there a rabbit who is laying eggs? You know how many people as teachers told me that their students are asking, rabbits lay eggs? It just does nothing about Easter make sense.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. How we go from Friday to Sunday and we calling that 3 days? Nothing about Easter makes sense. So that had to be my absolute favorite pagan truth. Among all of them, that one had to be my favorite because we just got to show y'all how, I'm trying to be nice, how just ridiculous these things are.
That was actually my favorite pagan truth moment as well. But I have a different part of the clip. A different clip from that segment. Let's put that on.
Let me tell you what Easter is. It praised the pagan goddess of fertility, and the word Easter originates from this goddess. People will often decorate eggs. They would offer it up to her to become fertile. Then there were several stories that were told of God who killed or died and resurrected. That gave people the bright idea to now tie Easter to Jesus, making it Christian and calling it Resurrection Sunday. We know that Jesus died and was resurrected 3 days. It does not say he died on a Friday, and it does not tie Easter to Jesus. So if you were planning to go and dress up with the nice Easter dresses and them lace socks, you
just stop celebrating Easter just because of the socks.
Jesus is not the reason. They lied to you. Jesus is not the reason. They lied to you. Now, what should the header have been for this one?
The lace socks. That was my favorite part. It's like the lace socks. I hated them socks. Oh my goodness. My mother used to put them socks on us. We didn't celebrate Easter often. But when we did, she put them lace socks on us. Because it was, a lot of times it was too hot for the regular stockings. So that's why the lace socks got pulled out. No, but it's crazy how we both chose that. For me, it was either this or Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of quickly like trying to toggle between the two. And I was like, nah, let me choose Easter. So that just goes to show that Easter is bogus.
Yes.
All of them
don't make sense.
But it just really, really, really doesn't make sense. Wow. We chose that. That is crazy.
I was wondering how many of the same we was going to choose. So right now we only got one that we chose that was the same. So that's good. That's good.
Yes.
But along with all these amazing staple segments, we also had some amazing guests.
We really did.
Starting from episode 2, where we had Kiana on.
Yes, Miss Kiana.
Yes. And she is just a soft-spoken sweetheart. And her story was amazing. And she brought something new to what we were learning about stalking. And that was amazing as well. But my favorite part for episode 2 with Kiana was this one. And we have our guest with us. Welcome. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for being a part of this episode. So for those who don't know you, and if you don't know her, I don't know where you've been living. Must be under a rock or something.
Right.
Give us a little bit about who you are.
Hey, world. My name's Kiana Bryan, top boutique model. I'm me. And I can't be nobody but I love my enemies. I just have to give love because there's too much hate in the world to, give too much hate. So I just got love for you, baby. Because I never heard of like gang stalking.
Gang stalking?
Yes, it's like gang stalking. Like it's New York, so I heard about gang stalking, and I thought I was tripping. Like I hear stuff like people like watch you, and you'll think you be tripping, but you're like this is like real life.
Mm-hmm.
This is like truly real life. Truly real life.
And that is exactly what I just said. That soft-spoken sweetheart. And it was just amazing to have her as our first guest, to have a first guest.
Yes.
And then she brought the new aspect of stalking, which was gang stalking.
Yes, never heard of that before.
Never would have even imagined that there could be such a thing. I would, you think of stalking, you think of a creep hiding behind somewhere watching you. Never would have thought of a gang of people stalking you all at once with the same agenda and motive.
Nobody has a job.
That
is their job, to help the next person stalk you.
Yes.
I wish somebody would come and be like, oh, Shontyce, do me for me real quick. Let me know when so come out their house. I'm sorry, because I'm not doing anything in life. Get up out of here. You're lucky if I was snitch. Okay? You want me to let them know? I'm gonna let them know something. I'll let you know something, all right? No, but that when she's sitting talking about hey world, she is a mess. She is a mess. She is a mess. Huge shout out to Miss Kiana Bryant.
Yeah.
Like we said, definitely getting everything going with our guests being on with us. Oh my gosh. Then we had Pastor Steph on next, right? No, we had Gwen. But my favorite moment, one of my favorite guest moments, was with Pastor Steph. Can we pull up Pastor Steph, please? My guest, who's also our executive producer, with all due respect.
All your knowledge and wisdom.
Wait, before we go real quick, I'm sorry, we should do something different. What is the question you have for millennials?
I have a question for the millennials.
What if you could ask the millennials?
Oh, I thought you said you would check.
No, not like you should have come with a question. No.
Okay.
But what's the question? Because you've been giving the advice. What's the question you have for millennials? And then maybe we can have that as a follow-up for a later time.
What's your true focus? What's your true focus? You know, remember I said that you asked one of the biggest challenges that I've had as a life coach. And it's the split from this side and this side. What's your real focus? You have to make up, in your mind what you really want to focus on and what you are focusing on.
That was a good one. That was a good episode. That was a good pick.
Yes, that was on episode 4. We had our executive producer, Pastor Steph, on to drop some of her gems and to let us know what it is to be a life coach, not only to everyone, but specifically to us millennials. And I asked Pastor Steph the question, what would you ask millennials? And her question was, what is your focus? And when I listened to that question again earlier today, I was like, oh my gosh, because it's so weird sometimes, like you feel like you're focused, and then when you really sit and think, it's like, Dad, I'm focused on A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Like, wait a minute, I'm gonna need to just be focused on 1 or maybe 2. But that question just really like she always makes you think. She be getting on my nerves with that sometimes. Like, just tell me what I gotta do, please. Don't be having me think. If I'm coming to you with questions, that means I don't already did my fake thinking, so I can't answer the question.
You did your think.
Right, but then I really did think, but then now you're telling me that I didn't really think, so I gotta think in front of you. It's just be too much. But it really had me like, wow, what is my focus?
Or how I took it is, let's say you're supposed to be focusing on God. Let's say this whole no dating. You're supposed to be focusing on God. But what are you truly focused on?
It's easy for the married one to bring that one up, right? It's so easy for the married one
just
to bring
in
up.
general, when you're supposed to be really focused on this thing, but really you're focused on something else that's taking your focus off of what you're really supposed to be focused on. And you're just lying to yourself because God really knows the truth. So that's how I thought of it. So really paying attention to what you're truly focused on.
I'm not the only millennial going through the struggle here because we got one of our crew members is another single millennial. Oh my goodness, it looked like the mind was just going. Oh, it ain't just me. Listen. But we need to be focused on the right thing. And Pastor Steph just has her passive aggressive way of like telling you without directly telling you, like, sis. And I hate that term. I hate that term. It's one of them sis moments, like, okay, come on, let's get this together. Wait, so what was your next favorite guest moment?
Wait, before we do that, let's look at these comments. We got somebody that said the hat was killing me. The Easter hat. She kept.
Y'all like that, y'all, right? Y'all like that. I'm so mad. I was so happy. I couldn't just leave it there. But that's the Bible we get.
Somebody said you never went to church before, but in Easter service you talking about something. Yes, praise Jesus.
All day.
Oh, sweet. So,
day.
Pastor looking good. What are you really focused on? Yes, yes, yes. So, my next favorite guest segment was Gwen. And she was another just amazing individual. She came accompanied by her son, and I spoke on, she's a entrepreneur and a woman of many hats. She does hair and fashion. She has her own business. And I wanted to focus on that motherly role as well, because just with her being here for that short amount of time and me being able to see how she handled her son was amazing. But my favorite moment with Gwen was this one. So we're going to play a quick game called Bag It or Trash It. We're going to show some fashion trends and some things that were on the runway if we have enough time for it. That was in this week's fashion week. Yes. So if you love it, you put up the bag it. If you don't, you put up the trash it. And we're going to have a quick conversation about, real quick, why not or why so.
So
you're supposed to wait. I was going to do the same thing, but I'm like, wait. So this is, they call it like fluffy fashion or something like that. So what are we rating it? Bag it, trash it. Bag it as if you love it.
Love it if I make it. Wait. If I like this, Bob. If you would buy this, you put up bag it. If you would say I ain't buying it.
Or if you feel like you can do something different.
I can do something different.
Right.
Okay,
right.
I can make it nice.
Right.
You can put it over some jeans. You know you can make it work. Wear me. No, I'm sorry.
I'll say bag it. I'll say bag it. But I'm going to let you go first. Why do you say bag it?
So I feel like I could put it over some jeans. You ever seen the one with the jeans? And it look like some bear man.
So can we challenge you? Oh, can we challenge you? We're going to have her up again.
Yes. You have to make
something with this.
In your couture.
Do something with it.
Okay.
And come back.
Okay.
Yes,
that was
my favorite.
We have to do something like that again.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes, I still got the sign, so I'm ready.
Yes.
And we have to have her back on. I'm excited to have her back on. And she let us know a while ago that she was ready to come back and show us what she did with that challenge. Yes. So Godspeed season 2, we gotta have her back on. But that was my favorite moment playing that game. If you ain't seen that episode, you gotta go back and watch, because it was hilarious and very insightful.
That was just the beginning of the game.
Right. And just even what Gwen brought to the table, it was just amazing all around. A very good episode. You want to go and watch it if you haven't seen it. If you have seen it and you just need another good laugh, go back and watch it.
Exactly.
Because it was just hilarious.
Exactly.
Well, what was your next segment?
Then we had Ketty Davis on with us, one of our most loyal viewers. She was on our episode 5, I believe it was. Yes. With the weed and alcohol awareness, drug awareness, alcohol awareness episode. And she came on and lit this set up. Watch this.
To bring Miss Ketty on. She had a testimony.
Then it went to the weed. When I was 16, I started exploring. I would have called me a dumb A.
What other drugs?
Okay, so let's get to the dust.
Wait, the angel dust?
Yes. All these drugs I took, I'm surprisingly sitting here with y'all today. Oh, let me tell you about the acid. Then I went to coke. As I was putting it up to my nose, I was like, ooh! But he gave me dope. It's like fire. Light a match, stick it up your nose, and you might as well just let it burn. But that's the way it felt.
What?
So I got married.
Now, were you high when you said yes?
When it was my turn to try the drugs, he was there. But when it was his turn, he was gone. Want to hear the kicker?
Yeah, if you did not watch this episode, you missed out. Not only did she like the setup, but we had one of our in-studio viewers laughing the entire episode. Oh my, it was just her not just what she was saying, but the way her delivery was just like, you could tell, like, I can't really talk about this now because that was what happened and not what's happening or what I want to happen in the near future. It was crazy. It was like, wait, it went to what? I thought I knew it a little bit. And then she said, that ain't all. So we may have to have her back for a part 2. Like, we have to have Gwen back.
Yes. And that was another one afterwards, how people were just like amazed by her transparency and her willingness. And that was just a proud moment for us because Kenny is always one that says she wants to do this and she wants to do that, but never does it. So when God opened up that door for her to do it and she took it, and she did an amazing job being transparent and telling her story. And the advice, the words of wisdom she gave after was just as powerful. So again, if you did not see that episode, you want to go back and watch it. Not only was it hilarious, but it was just so powerful.
And we also had on that episode our 2 interns come on, 2 young people come on and give their opinion and their thoughts on marijuana and how, you know, if they had experience with it. I'm gonna tell you, if they didn't, that's for you to go back and watch. But their level of transparency, you know, so it just really was like, wow, we didn't have any dummies in the studio at all. I mean, we never do. But when you talk about something like weed, you kind of expect to hear something a little medium, especially from the younger people. But it was just like, wow, okay, y'all get ready to put us on. Oh, okay. Yeah, that
Real
was
quick,
amazing.
we gotta say hey to Deacon Diallo. He's watching. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
And let's look at these comments. We got the game with Gwen was funny. Yes, it really was. Gwen had great energy. Ketty was shocking, unexpected, and surprising. Yes, very candid. Go, Ketty. Amazing courage. Ketty was real. Yes, and I love the interns. Yes, they did an amazing job. And again, another bunch of fearless individuals. We pulled them in out of nowhere, and they was with it. And they did a great job. So those were our guests for season 1. I can't wait to see what God has in store for season 2.
We about to get done.
So we're gonna take a quick break. And yes, just recompose ourselves. And we're gonna be right back.
It's your girl Shontyce
and your girl V,
and you're watching With All Due Respect with Shontyce and V.
That was good. It's so good to just go down memory lane. Even having to go back and watch the episodes in order to pick my favorites. It was like, wait, not that one.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh wait, I might come back to this one.
Right.
Yes.
Gotta save this one. It was good. It was good to be able to go back and watch. Excuse me. So now we're up to what does God say? And that segment is where we take everything that we talked about and we put God's word to it. And we didn't take no videos or anything like that and go back and say which one was our favorite. It's hard to choose.
Yeah, because each, as you said, it came from each segment.
Right.
The content from each show.
Yeah.
The content from each show. So it was kind of like, well, that was perfect for this show and that was perfect for that show.
Mm-hmm.
But how did you choose the verse you're about to give now?
I kind of went with what I was feeling in the moment.
Okay.
Like going back, looking at what God has done in this first season. Going back to when Pastor came to us, it was like God gave her this idea for us. And I was like, what? Me?
Right? Little old me.
And just going back and like sitting down and talking about what God wanted the show to be about, what he wanted us to make sure we hit on, what he wanted us to make sure that we focused on, and being millennials and calling people out and things like that. And of course, there's always some nervousness when God, at least for me, let me speak for myself, there's always a tinge of nervousness when God calls you to do, when God calls me to do something. So I chose Ephesians 5:16, which says, making the best use of the time because the days are evil. And I chose that because there's a running slogan / joke on It's Due Time with Pastor Steph when she had Pastor Kim that always said, we're in our last and evil days. Yes, we're in our last and evil days.
Yes.
So when God calls you to do something, you make good use of that time, because it's just too much going on right now in this world. And anything that he calls you to do is always going to be to combat the evil that's going on in this world. Mm-hmm. And God has entrusted me with the young ones. I'm a teacher, and I always find myself surrounded and, impressions with children. So that's always on my mind.
Right.
I want to get to them as young as I can. I want to help them through it before they put themselves or get themselves into drama. So I had to choose that one, making sure that to use the time that God gives us and make good use of the time, because the days are evil. So if I can be some light in this evil, I want to make sure that I take that every opportunity he gives me.
Go ahead, light. That's a really good verse. I like that verse. I like having to meditate on that. And like you said, it's pinpointing exactly what's going on now. Thinking of all of the episodes we've been blessed to do so far, it just brought me back to my favorite verse. I think it's my favorite verse. I haven't come past one that I'm like, oh no, that's my favorite. Romans 12:2 in the Amplified Version, which reads, and do not be conformed to this world any longer with its superficial values and customs, but be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind, focusing on godly values and ethical attitudes, so that you may prove for yourselves what the will of God is, that which is good and acceptable and perfect in his plan and purpose for you. Wow. And for me this season, I have definitely had my share of fighting with myself, fighting with God moments, definitely feeling like I'm having to contend with myself and what God needs me to do, because different things, these thoughts are worse than the actual deeds. Yes. If you ask me.
Yes.
It's like, dad, God, I'd rather do than to sit here with the thoughts just driving me crazy. And I didn't realize how distracting thoughts can be and how it keeps you in this whirlwind of the streets customs and the traditions of this world, and keeps you you're no longer stagnant, keeps you digressing, like you keep going backwards and backwards and backwards. And if it's not for God reminding you that I've chosen you to live on my terms and not the world's terms. You will continue to stay within these traditions. You talk about ethics. Ethics is all about morals and all of that. We're not supposed to be moving on our morals, but on God's morals. So Romans 12:2 is definitely one of the pinpoints that I feel we should believe in season 1 with. Thanking God for, as we said, all of the guests we were able to have on here who were also ministering to us, where we thought God was giving us something to give you guys. He had to give it to us for us first, then for each other, then for our crew, and then for you guys. Definitely making sure there's been discipline in the steps that's been taken. And with every segment, what are the streets saying? Get rid of that. Pagan truths. What's in your glass is all about leaving the world's customs and traditions behind. Because if we were any other regular millennial, there would be alcohol in our glass. We would be talking to cannabis owners as our guests. We would be condoning kids stripping. Remember that?
Yes.
As well as, we would not be talking against these things. We would be going along with these things and promoting it. So definitely thanking God for what he says and not what we say.
I feel like that was the perfect verse for what God is doing on the show. Like that was a perfect pick. That was a perfect pick. And we're gonna read the comments. I like making the best use of our time, verse Romans 12:2. But be transformed. Yes, amen. Yes. That was good. That was good. Unplanned.
Right.
Unplanned.
Right.
And that was good. That was a good word. Go ahead, guys. Remember Teresa? Go ahead. But that is the end of our season finale episode. Thank you guys so much for all your comments. Thank you for the views. Thank you for sharing this moment with us and going through this journey with us. We got to do our, with all due respect, closing remarks for the totality of season 1. How do we do that? How do we do that? Oh my gosh.
I feel pressured. Okay, with all due respect, leave the weed alone. I mean, I'm sorry. I'll try not to bring that one back up, but it's just right there. With all due respect, leave it alone. It just kills anything. Wait, what was mentioned in this verse? Wait, where's the word progressively? Progressively was mentioned here. I can't find it right now. I'm trying to read it. Oh, wait. But be transformed and progressively changed as you mature spiritually by the renewing of your mind. There's nothing progressive about weed. Nothing. Just think about how many times you gotta smoke it in a day to still not end up where you want to be.
Right.
Nothing progressive about it. Right. So
think about your life as a whole.
Exactly. So leave it alone and listen. Let me just say this. I know, especially ever since that episode, I've been talking about the weed smoking a lot. Ain't no different than the alcohol drinking, the crack smoking, the needle popping, and all that other stuff. Okay? The sex, the shopping, out of control, mess up the finances. There's no difference. We try to make a difference. There's no difference. But there's no shopping day. There's no crack day. There may be an alcohol day.
Well,
but since 420,
right, it's in there.
Right. But I'm saying, you have 420 like this. None of those other things are populated yet. As scary as it is to say yet. But we really have to make sure that we're not trying to help the world normalize all of these things that is killing us. Because I may not be smoking, but like B said, if I'm going outside to get some fresh air, I'm now smoking along with you. So with all due respect, don't kill us.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Thank you.
I was on the playground with my kitties and somebody stopped by the playground and was just lighting up. I'm like, sir, are you serious? Are they not here? Like,
the only spot.
Right. You got all this space. But my with all due respect is, with all due respect, making the best use of the time because days are evil. Because we talked about so many things that people are wasting their time on. All those pagan holidays. All the get rid of that segments we did and the topics we talked about. You're wasting your money on the BBLs. You're wasting your money on the weed. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your life. So with all due respect, making the best use of time because the days are evil. If God called you to do something, if any of these episodes, which it should have been every single one, has corrected you or challenged you, make sure you're answering that call. Make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you're reading your Bible. Make sure you're talking to God. Make sure you're not ignoring those pricks, because you're wasting time. Get it together.
Thank God for the pricks.
Yes.
To leave you alone.
Snatching of the collar, as Pastor would say.
Yes.
Make sure you're using the best use of the time. So that's my, with all due respect, commentary. And season 2 is about to be fire. We want to invite you, if you're an indie artist of any kind, if you're a singer, a model, an artist, like an actual drawing artist, a poet, whatever you do,
Yes.
please hit us up. We trying to shine a light on you coming season 2. We want to make sure we are enjoying our summer, so we're going to be outside. So if you know somebody, if you are the somebody, make sure you hit us up, meet us out there, because we want season 2 to be another amazing season.
That's right. That's right.
We wanted to just shine light on so many millennials that are trying to get their business or get themselves off the ground.
That's right. That's good. I think I have someone in mind to be able to talk to you about this after.
Okay.
After we do this. Yes. Yes, and we have to make sure. Wait, I'm sorry, Pastor. Do we have the official flyer? Because I meant to please send that. Yes, it came across my mind about an hour before we started tonight. This July 27th and 28th, I don't care what you got to do. I'm not going to ask, are you busy? It doesn't matter.
Right.
Clear your calendar, because this is the 2nd annual Women's Conference, Breaking the Yoke Women's Conference. Last year, the theme was Breaking the Yoke. We're not doing that. This year, it's Breaking the Yoke. The struggle is real. And let me just tell you something about the struggle. Okay? It is real.
Oh my God.
And I'm praying that the Lord don't have to talk to my pastor about it. Because last year, I had to talk about it. Don't be sending me down.
I'll take the scrolling.
Don't be sending me down. Because it's real. Okay? It's real. And the things that I've been going through, mentally and emotionally, physically and spiritually, is real. And if it's coming real to me like this, I really have to ask God, like, God, I'm not trying to give myself no house. But are you allowing this to be real so I really have something to deliver at this conference? Because, I mean, the struggle didn't just start. But it just feels like, almost like when it was time for baptism. It was like the closer we got, the more, it's like the more intense it feels. And I'm like, but wait, do you know what the color is this year, V?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Shades of blue. So make sure you get your blue on.
Yes. Look at that.
July 27th, starting at 12 p.m. and July 28th, we're doing a Carnival of Love, a day of giving.
Yes.
Everything is free, and you cannot even imagine the types of things that we're doing.
Everything on the 28th is free. The conference is only $45. And if you know anything about conferences, especially Christian conferences, $45 is just typically the parking fee. So we ain't trying to hear no excuse about it, okay? Because a portion of your ticket price, your $45 ticket price for the 27th, is going to supply the goods for the 28th, which is, as we said, the day of giving. So we're having food, we're having merchandise, we're having contests and giveaways and all kinds of things that's absolutely free. So of course that's going to take a little money for us to do. So a portion of your $45 for you to have the entire day sitting with some dope presenters. But wait, let's see some presenters real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you have Miss Jackie Love Calloway, which if you do not know her, you better get to know her. She is one of the most moguls in the fashion industry. Pastor, I'm gonna need you to come and yes, Minister Joyce, I'm sorry. Minister Diane, with all due respect, with Shontyce and V. Then we have Sister Carice Morrison Hayes, who is going to be lighting it up. The songstress is going to be lighting the stage up. Pastor Simpson. We have Minister Athena here. If you did not hear her on this due time with Pastor Steph this past Thursday, yesterday, she is a nutritionist who's not boring.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be interested in hearing a nutritionist for more than like 5 minutes. She was dropping so much knowledge and like really had me interested. I was so intrigued. Okay.
Most of the time when people talk, I'm like, you think you're better than me. But when she was talking, I was like, I gotta get my life.
Yes! And leave this junk food alone.
For real.
Right? And find olive oil, which means I gotta get my funds right. Do you know how much olive oil?
Oh my goodness. Health is always expensive.
There's just so much needed about the 2 chicken wings.
Right.
Okay, then we have Pastor Janae Gibbs, and then we have Pastor Dennis and Evangelist Yvette Farrar. What?
Pastor Dennis?
Yes,
What?
and Evangelist.
Okay.
Yes, yes,
What?
and just recently ordained in the name of Jesus. Just in time for our second annual conference. So we are going to be, and I have a feel like this is not all. This is just who made the flyer so far. So make sure, again, July 27th and 28th, put in the comments, Breaking the Yoke, if you would like to purchase your tickets. You never know if the Lord will put it on Pastor Steph's heart to give you a discount since you're watching this episode live right now. But make sure right here in Jamaica, Queens, stop acting funny. It's only 45 hours. And again, the next day is our Carnival of Love, which is going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait. It's going to be a bake-off, cook-off, all that good stuff. So make sure you clear your calendar. Mark this on your calendar so you can come and see us live. I cannot wait for us to start working on our segment.
I know. And make sure you're listening to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, because last year, God was just giving away discounts here and there. You get a discount, you get a discount, you get a discount. So if you're early enough, you might get a discount. We don't know, but make sure you stay tuned to It's Due Time with Pastor Steph, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, make sure you're listening. Not only for the discount, but just for the wisdom and the goodness of the
and to hear Pastor Steph laugh. If y'all haven't heard her laugh, if y'all able to mock her laugh perfectly, I'll make sure she gives you a discount. But you're not going to know how to do it if you don't tune in. And make sure you hit that subscribe button below, because you have to stay in tune to a Closer Walk Christian Talk Show YouTube channel to stay updated with everything.
Yeah.
Everything that we're doing, not only with this all due respect, but what I see what you're doing with Pastor Steph, my 2 cents TV and film review that we do. We're going out to different events. So make sure you stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button so you always get that notification whenever we post something new and live.
And make sure you follow us with All Due Respect TV on Instagram, with All Due Respect on Facebook, and again, A Coach for Christian Life on Facebook is where we go live.
Yes.
And the YouTube page, make sure you friend us, like us, subscribe, whatever it is. Make sure you stay in touch with us and in tune with us so that you can find out when we're going live, who's going to be the guest, what's coming next, and all the good stuff that God is giving you through us.
Amen. And a huge shout out to our crew, because we could not do any of this without them. Our executive producer, Pastor Steph. We have our tech designer and our tech Serge. We have our assistant production manager, Mariah. We have our associate producer, Teresa. And we also have our tech, Anika. Our technical advisor, and it is just, they are amazing. This episode in particular, because I was sick, we really had to be so strategic in such a short amount of time in putting this episode together. But because God has ensured that we sit under Pastor Steph, and she ain't trying to hear no mess, like God ain't trying to hear no mess, when it's time to do God's work, we were able to get this going live. So thanking God for them, because us sitting here would not be possible if they were not on point and willing to do everything it is that they do. It's giving God thanks, also giving God thanks for Messiah and Cody, our 2 interns. Yes, they have been with us a few times. They're looking forward to being with us again, and I think they're really going to love being with us during the summer. Yes, because we're going to be out and about, not only here in the studio. So, woo! We did it, girl. Season 1.
Yes. Again, make sure y'all stay tuned. Season 2 is going to be phenomenal. If you know somebody, send them our way. If you are the somebody, hit us up in our DMs. And just get ready. Just get ready. I don't know if you can, but as much as you can, get ready. We thank y'all so much for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight and every night. And we look forward to next episode. That's why you gotta stay tuned, because God didn't tell us the next date. Yeah. We don't know if He might be making some changes season 2. So make sure you're on those pages. We love y'all. Have a good rest of your night. Happy Sabbath.
Yes.
Enjoy. Bye. Bye.